Peace, love, and light, beautiful people, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ty, and I'm super happy to have you. Hopefully you take a look around, like what you see, and hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me again. I truly appreciate all of the love and the support. Hopefully you've already subscribed to the channel. I hope that you're all doing well, vibrating high, standing in your power, in your peace, and in your light. Many of you have projects that you're working on, and I want to say for most of you, these are personal projects. These are things that you have always wanted to do, and you are finally putting the pedal to the metal. You're finally working on it. You're working on yourself. You're working on your purpose. And there's something that you have been massaging and preparing, and you want to put out there, but maybe you are experiencing a delay or some sort of pause. For those of you who are experiencing this, who this resonates with, God wants you to trust His timing. Surrender to the pause, because those pauses are there for a reason. Those pauses are there because you are missing information. When you experience the delays that may appear as a setback, it's not. It is a pause. And it is important for you to make sure that your channels of communication with source, to source, are clear, aligned, and open. Because it is during this time that you're going to be getting downloads and information that is valuable to whatever it is that you're working on. I'll share a little story with you guys. I experienced this not too long ago. I was in the middle of a busy work day, came home, and I had some things that I needed to complete for myself, for my own personal goals. And by the time I was finished cooking, I was just like, man, I am super exhausted. Like, I really didn't have the mental space. I didn't have the emotional space. I just didn't have the space. I was exhausted. And I was like, I'm not in the space to concentrate on this. I'm not in the space to be intentional and put that energy and that focus into what I needed to do. Very new to Ty is surrendering to those pauses. And I did exactly that. I was like, you know what? My body is telling me to rest. My spirit is telling me to rest. And I am going to do exactly that. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Another time I would have been like still trying to do it, or just like super stressed out over the fact that I didn't do it. Instead, I was like, you know what? I did something that was totally not me, which was I sat on my sofa, and I spend a lot of time on my sofa, but most of the time I'm on the sofa, I'm reading or reading and scrolling my phone for information and things like that. But I very rarely watch TV. So I sat down to watch TV. I was like, let me turn on the TV and actually pay attention, because other times I turn it on and it watches me, or, it's just paused on one of the platform screens. So I start scrolling and I find a show, click on it. And long story short, I watched the show and I'm like 4 episodes in. That's different for me. I maybe do 1 episode of something, and I got consumed by the show. And the reason why I got consumed by the show was that it was speaking to me so deeply, so profound. I began getting download after download that I was watching the show and like writing in my notes all of the information that I was like getting, all of the messages that I was receiving. I received so many messages that I had a moment where I got emotional and I started crying because it was so deep. That's how deep I felt it. I share this with you to say that it's important for you to make sure that your channels of communication are clear and open, because you need to be able to notice the signs and the synchronicities, because God is going to be speaking to you in ways that you have never experienced before, in all types of ways. If there was something that you never did before and all of a sudden you feel called to do it, do that, because God may speak to you through whatever that line of communication is. You are going to be receiving downloads and information from places that you never thought would be possible, or you never thought that you would do that you would get it, it would like click, okay? And that's exactly what happened for me. Everything just clicked. So this is why I say it's important to trust the pauses, because during this time, what Spirit is giving me is that within those pauses, you're going to receive information directly from divine creator source, because you are co-creating. Don't forget that. Don't forget that you are co-creating with God. In those pauses, in those delays, God's going to be communicating with you. You're going to be receiving valuable information, valuable downloads. All right. Trust God's timing. What does Isaiah 55:8 say? For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than yours, and my thoughts higher than yours. God's perspective and God's timing is always beyond our level of understanding, our level of comprehension, but always better. So trust the pauses. Trust God's timing, and know that everything that is happening according to God's timeline, in divine timing and divine order. So trust the process, trust the pauses, and make sure that your channels and your lines of communication are clear and open. And that may mean many of you have to hop into meditation and clear out those chakras. Make sure that you're communicating with God and saying to God, I surrender to this moment, I surrender to this pause, and I am open to receiving. Because you have to be open to receive the information in order for you to get the information. I hope this brings you some clarity. I hope that it resonated with you. And if it did, please share it in the comments down below. I love to read my comments. It makes me so happy when I hear people like, oh man, yes, that was for me. But if you enjoyed it, go ahead and give me a like. Hopefully you will consider subscribing to the channel, or you already subscribed. Anywho, I love you all so much. Thank you for sticking with me for this whole entire video. Hopefully you did. And sending you loads of peace, love, and light. Bye bye.